Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 3 long weeks here at SRA.
Welcome back to the best racing in North America, home of the SRA GT3 Team Series. 60 minutes of action-packed door-to-door racing, 6 divisions, 6 different championships on the line. Let's get ready for some action tonight.
An incident. We have Boardman at a yellow. Looks like he's dropping down positions there. The chicane as a bunch of cars are coming through.
Byron's going to take a dive in the Lexus.
Johnson looking to go down the inside of Maxwell.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, SRA fans. Welcome to yet a exciting night, especially after a long break. I believe it was about 4 weeks, one of the longer ones we've had. I'm joined tonight with John Donahue.
Hello, returning champion.
And then I'm also joined by a new face, Tomato.
Hello. It's actually tomato. Nah, it's fine.
You're throwing me off now. We talked about this before.
No. Yeah.
How are you feeling tonight? I know it's your first time in the booth for this season, so.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think all the times are going to be. I'm expecting a lot of a good time.
Uh-oh. You good, buddy?
Yeah.
Tomato's already having some trouble.
No. No, I was just saying. I'm expecting a lot closer racing because the divisions are so much closer now too. So we'll have a good time. We'll see a lot of good battles.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. For this season, Season 7, this is the first race at Paul Ricard. We did have some changes in the offseason. Our usual 50 grid team series got shortened to 42. So we closed the gap for a lot of the drivers, and I believe it's insanely tight for timings compared to last year. I know last year was roughly about a second from top to bottom, and now it's going to be even tighter. So we'll get a lot of good racing. I know last night we saw a lot of it throughout the league and got to see the Discord flooding with chats throughout the evening after the race. So, but let's get onto the track map here. So we are at Paul Ricard in southern France. It's 5.77 kilometers or 3.586 miles if you prefer that. 13 turns. A lot of these turns are very flowing, so if you get one turn wrong, you kind of ruin it for the next 1 or 2 turns. So you really need to get them right. We're going to see maybe some opportunities into turns 1, and then that 3 through 5 section is another good spot, and then the Minstrel Straight having that toe will really carry drivers to that turn 8 area for an overtake, and then turns 12 and 13 are kind of that next section that I see happening. John, what about you? What are you seeing tonight for drivers taking some spots or some calculated risks?
There's always going to probably be the people that try to get calculated risk going well off the straight. I don't know if you said that one. I was trying to figure something out. But yesterday I saw a couple people trying to go around the outside of turn 9 and 10, which worked for a few, but didn't work for a couple of other people that I saw, myself being one of them. There was a couple moves into turn 1, especially on the first few laps, so we'll keep our eyes open for that as well. Other than that, it's just a little bit difficult, even though it's a wide track, at least for me to overtake. But
yeah. What about you, Tomato? What are you anticipating for
tonight? The name of the game with Paul Ricard is pretty much just your exit. Like, get a better exit, and you probably will end up overtaking someone. But like you get nailed it on the head. Turns 8, turn 9, sometimes turn 2, and 3. But it's gonna be like it's like calculated risk here at 8 and 9 especially. You'll see a lot of people kind of diving in the inside. Some, like Donahue said before, some on the outside, but from what I've seen, a lot of people just take it either way faster on the inside in hopes that the person outside kind of like backs off and they can own the corner. But that's where I see a lot of the battles will probably be.
It's also going to depend quite a bit on setup.
Definitely, yeah. Especially like people have either a very high rake setup in hopes of getting a lot of time on the more technical turns section, but then they'll lose like 3/10 on the straight, and then vice versa, right? They try to gain a lot more time straight, but they lose a little bit of time the cornering section. So it'll be interesting to see what strategy kind of setup wise prevails.
Well, I know that we are getting ready to go into qualifying here shortly, but before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors that you see on the banner above. They scroll by, they are through the community helping out with donations and things like that. So huge shout out to them. They really help the community thrive on a different aspect, along with everybody else inside the community, really bring to life the Discord. Then we got CGA, which is Coach Jeffrey's Academy, the coach, the GOAT. Also, if you are Lane Yates, call him the Goach. He helps with a bunch of different things, with off-season activities, regular season activities, the predictions, all of that. Go check out his stuff for a good time. Go Setups. If you do have any issues with setups, you can go to Go Setups through our affiliate link, and if we're still struggling, it is no longer a setup issue, it is more of a skill issue. I can attest to that. I struggle myself, and I even use Go Setups, so it is a skill issue 100%. Documize, a document control software to really help you, as someone said, get your lap times around the office down. So they help you with document control and working with your team that way. Armamentario, longtime partner with the team. They have a great software that really revitalizes the HUD for ACC, giving you a lot more information that you need for like throttle control, inputs of your steering wheel, things like that. So really love their software. Track Racer, if you have any needs for sim racing equipment for either flight sim or racing, such as a rig, that's the place to go. Again, also using our Discord, you can get our affiliate link to help the community out. And then Retro Saga for all of your retro gaming needs. No standings tonight to get into since it is race 1, so we can get ready to go into the start of qualifying here. John, why don't you walk us through qualifying and why we see 2 different tags for those that are joining for the first time?
So for those of you joining for the first time, as Austin just pointed out, you will see 2 separate tags. You'll see a gray, which we call our silver division, and those are usually the people that are on the, I don't want to say slower side, but it is kind of the slower side of the division, even though they're still fast in D3. They go out first for the first 10 minutes of the lap, or 10 minutes of the session, put down their fast laps, get the track to go optimum, and then the white number plates are our gold division in D3. They come out the second half of the 10-minute session and set those blistering speeds.
Thank you. Couldn't have put it better myself. And we are on board right now. I am on board with Flunk. It looks like you also are, just because he is the leading driver to get out of the pits. So first one to really get the track and see what's going on and set their times down. So get the temporary number 1 position for this while everyone else sets their times.
I mean, one thing to note though is like the silver and gold pace is not really that much different. We've seen it in other divisions where like at one point the qualifying leaderboard was like inverted in terms of like the initial division placement. So anything can happen.
100% agree. There are a ton of fast drivers that we see inside silver. I know for one that I'm going to keep my eye on is Matt Anastasi. Ever since I've seen him start with SRA, which I believe was season 5, he's been on the pace for any division he was in.
Oh yeah.
D4, I believe he won D4 in the team series, and then moved up to D3 last season and stayed in D3 this season. So I see Anastasi being a strong horse in the silver split.
For sure, and going off of what you just said, that he stayed in D3, the reason that you said that is because any of you eagle-eyed viewers from last season noticed that a lot of these names are different. There's only a few of the old D3 returning this season, and that's basically a promotion for them since it's kind of been moved up a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go up against people who used to be in D2.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, we did touch on that earlier on, going down to 42. So when you do go down to 42, you're cutting 8 people out of D1 and moving them down to D2, and then that next, basically now that list grows to 16, and then that gets shifted down. So you're really just kind of having that accordion effect with the divisions. And then you also had our natural growth that we had this season, and a lot of fast drivers joined, so that also has an accordion effect with how things are shuffled out. So we'll see a lot of the fast drivers have a lot of good battles here tonight as well.
It'd be very interesting to see how racecraft kind of like factors into all of this, because I mean, some people might be fast, but the people who are coming down from D2, do they have better racecraft than people in D3, or is it just, you know, everyone spent the same amount of time? What would you say like the competitive edge would where that would come?
I would say the racecraft, just being from a higher division, you are facing a lot more faster drivers, so your margin for error is getting less and less, so you need to defend a little harder and attack a little bit more aggressively than you would if you were. This isn't a knock against the lower divisions, but the lower divisions don't have that skill set yet that they're working on and developing to get to higher end divisions. And we've seen people get promoted from D5 to D2 and then next season be D1. Kevin Lau, remember that?
Yeah.
So really quick, Jeff Spade in the chat asking you how you say your name, Tomato.
So what did you like to know?
I think we all need to know.
It's a tomato. It's the way to go. But you know,
And
it's more
do you
fun
say
to see
that
what you come up
because
with.
do you say that because you can then say it's the way to go right after and it makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
We-
just had to check.
100%. I mean, until that moment, no, but now, yes.
We need your teammate next season to be potato now.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
please.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we are seeing some fast times getting thrown down. Funk just taking pole, then Anastasi coming through with almost getting that 55 flat, just a couple hundredths off there. So these
Doug
drivers
Mitchell,
are
though,
making-
Yeah, he's a
Up.
second.
1.2 out of 55.7, so he puts in a 54.5. So he's now up half a second over Anastasi.
Doug not washed, confirmed.
Doug has not been washed. That sounded really bad, but Doug is not washed. There we go. That
Easy
sounds at least a little bit better.
a little bit, yes.
Yeah, half a second over the entire field right now. But we'll see. We'll see a lot more coming in.
And mind you, this track is only fast, so there is still more time that we could see from a lot of these drivers, especially once we hit optimum. You'll see a couple tenths here and there, just once it hits that optimum point of the track, just because there's more rubber and more grip, so you're able to send the car in a little bit more than you were used to maybe 2 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, speaking of which, David Funk at the moment up about half a second to 0.6 as he's coming into the third sector here.
I'm also watching somebody up to 0.6. That would be Joao Sodre with the Grid D's Motorsports team there. Up almost 0.7 as they're entering the last sector here. That Ferrari just like we saw last night, an absolute beast in the straight line speed. The Lamborghini also is now in that straight line speed, especially if you take that wing down a little bit and just sacrifice a little bit of that downforce. So they were hitting what 284 pretty regularly on that back straight.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before. It's a very compounding track. You go a little bit faster, and that time definitely carries over. And I mean, you're seeing right now, all of a sudden, 8/10, 9/10, 6/10 up. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, and
Oh, I'm having some issues. Give me just a second.
I've been there. That was me. How many times last season where I'd be like, "Hey guys,
6 or 7.
yeah, I'm gonna cut out." Joao puts his car in P11. Was temporarily P10, but got bumped down as someone else also crossed the line. Kind of giving you that rundown of the top 3 right now. We got Douglas Mitchell, David Funk, and looks like Christian overtook Logan Schaefer there. These drivers do have another minute to throw down some times. If they do cross the line before the 10-minute mark is up, they don't have to come in at 10 minutes. If they're still on a valid hot lap, they can continue that until they are done. Once that 10 minutes hits, though, anybody that finishes after will need to come back into the pits and then allow the gold drivers to take their time, as we do see the track hit optimum now. So if you get that last lap in, you could increase your time quite a bit there. Oh, looks like we have lost John for the time being.
Don't worry, I'll make up for it.
All good.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
This is awful. I hate this.
Having internet issues. I'm gonna take that.
Looking
as a
at
yes.
the times though, you can see like the people, even silver, setting like 154.5s. I expect gold won't be like hitting that much faster, so the top like maybe 10, 15 spots should be super tight.
Oh yeah, I agree there as well. These drivers are going to be hitting. I can see gold hitting those 53s, like that border. I'm sure that they'll make me eat my words, and they'll be solidly in the 53s, as we see their Funk going a little wide and ending their qualifying. But I'm sure they'll make me eat my words. It happens all too often. And then also say something about a driver and give them the commentator's curse. So fair is fair.
You did that quite a lot last season, I will say.
I handed out the curse like Patches handed out the curse.
There's one common factor, it's you.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, roasted.
Nah, I mean, if you look at the times though, for like, for example, Doug, they are pretty much at the pace of their records on the leaderboards. So that's great. Like being able to set those times within 3 laps shows just how much time they've put in practice and skill.
Yeah, and Doug did turn the driving line off last season, so he has one full season without it, and we are at different tracks, so we'll see how he does this season. But I definitely see Doug having a solid season at this rate.
Hi, Kelvin. Just saying hi to Kelvin. He said my name in the chat. So hi, Kelvin.
Calvin did get a shout out as well. I don't know if he was here
Probably
for
when
that.
my internet was dying.
Where I said, yeah, a driver can go from D5 to D2 and then next season D1.
Oh, that, yeah.
Let's see, who's the first driver to number 41? That'll be Aaron Anderson from Start Your Systems.
Man, the
if you
myth,
guys remember,
legend.
Aaron was the first driver to win. Why did I say first driver? Words are hard. He won the Driver's Series.
Apparently, he was the first one ever to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was first. I got that right. He was first.
That's true.
He was the first person to win the season for that season.
There we go.
Exactly.
See, we saved it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, how did I get a microphone put in front of my face?
Because you asked Jess very nicely, no other reason.
Yeah, true. Jess did graciously give me this position. Oop, and we're getting some hype for this crew from Kelvin, so looking forward to the season. Running it back with John and also having the new face of Tomato or Tomato. You know,
We're gonna choose something different each time just to keep people guessing.
there we go. That's the spice we like to hear. Oh, I do want to make a comment about this livery from Aaron Anderson. It is wonderful. I love the purple and gold that they did with the black. It's just such a clean look, and they made it work with all the natural lines of the car, so even better.
Oh, speaking of livery, Dahi's livery, the Nyan Nyan Cat one.
Oh,
I
yes.
love it so much. The fact that Deadmau5 tried to do the exact same livery and Ferrari was just like not having it, I find it hilarious.
Aaron Anderson comes through with their first flying lap, puts it 10, and then Dahi immediately puts it P8. But I do agree with the Neon Cat. I tried to convince my teammate to be like, it'd be funny if we did a non-cat, and he was like, no, shut it down immediately. So glad someone did it. But, you know, one trend that I am noticing looking up and down this track leaderboard is it's a lot of Ferraris. So D3 is the Ferrari Cup, along with a couple of other seasons. I know, looking at it, Ferrari dominates 50% of the league's registered cars. But one thing that isn't here is the new Porsche. It is literally Ferrari, a Lamborghini team, and then a couple Mercedes teams. So
just Ferrari and Mercedes.
Yeah, with a couple Lamborghinis sprinkled in there.
We don't talk about them. We're already seeing massive improvements in time, and they're like at the low 155. So expect to see a lot more 154s popping up.
Oh, I agree. Because Dahi about 2/10, Simmons 5/10, Allen is on an invalid lap, so I could comment on that, but I'm sure he won't. Doesn't want me to.
He just has to do it again. That's
exactly.
Simple, right?
One more time, that's it.
I mean, Anderson is already doing the similar like improvement of time, and so we'll see that. Yep, there we go.
Yep. I
Third.
Jumped on board Fickert, who is up 1 second at the moment. Yeah, 1 second. Well, I'll jump up quite a bit there.
What a heater. What a heater.
Austin?
E9. What's going on, Don? John, down to you.
Don.
Again, how did I get a mic?
What crimes have you been committing to be called Don?
Having bad internet. Is that a crime?
No, having my brain remember that Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie, John Don.
Queso also on an absolute heater, jumping up to second. Wow. 54.602. What a lap.
Not stopping, already up just a little bit, but...
Douglas Mitchell's still proving he has not been washed out yet, because
Anderson is also 2/10 up on his already fast time. So, and if he gets it, then he will beat Mitchell.
See, right there, that is the thing you should not have said, because that is going to have cursed it.
And it is. He's invalidated.
It legitimately happened right away as soon as I said it.
Yep. You
did he do the same thing? Dahi makes it clean.
Hey, should we try to curse Dahi now too while we're at it?
No.
They have the exact same time.
No, because comic racing forever. And yes, Dahi is on loan from Plan E this season to race with Land Shark, so I can say that.
I love seeing exact to the, was it, thousandths of a second, the same exact qualifying times. That's always fun to see.
Oh, I know.
Apparently, Logan Shaper is in the chat with us right now as well.
Well, he's in the pit box, so I mean, he is allowed to join. He's not driving, so he's not multitasking.
He's not doing what I did at the start of the season last season, which is text and drive.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Oh,
but
there we go. Dahi is number one right now with the
Let's go,
Dahi.
4.452.
You know what that
Great
means?
lap.
Douglas Mitchell's wash confirmed.
All right, admin team is too strong.
It really is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
They're the ones who have the like slash commands, right? So they might be putting slash be faster.
Yeah, or
Slash add 5 horsepower.
that, or they're adding ballast to other drivers.
Yeah, decrease increase weight of every other driver. Yeah. Anderson also improving.
Don't say a single word.
I didn't say anything else. Just noting who to look out for.
Oh, trust me, I'm on board with him. I'm already close to cursing him at the moment. But look who's down in 11th at the moment.
Oh wow!
Story is also
Look at Story.
improving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board with Story as he is about to cross the line here. Puts him
That's
on
gonna-
P1.
Here we go.
Wonderful lap. Wonderful.
Overtakes the admins.
Yes, down with the admins, but forever live the Batmans because we were awesome.
No. No.
Yes,
Lap. What would you say is that thing that gets them into the 154s? The one like major.
they eat
Spot.
they eat their Wheaties.
I was gonna say trail braking is going to be the major key, especially around here. A lot of
Yeah.
corners you need trail brake.
Anderson was able to put it in a P3 though.
He was.
So splitting the admins.
Not all of them, because Mitchell and Allen are next to each other. So
Okay, splitting the admins that were in the top 3. How's that?
there we go.
I don't know if Doug turned his racing line back on, but maybe
Seems like it.
now to be competitive, he has to turn it back on for the real race.
Well, we did just have qualifying, and so anybody that is on a valid lap can finish their times here. As we see, the drivers that are now crossing line are done for the night.
We do have a couple of people that are on valid that are still up because both Allen and Anderson are both up. Fickard is up by a little bit. Polyak up by a little bit. Johnson is up by quite a bit. He's up about 5/10 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm on board with Johnson right now. Get a ZDR boys rocking another wonderfully created livery around that rock theme.
Oh, and Anderson just invalidated, so he's going to just. I think he's just going to finish it. Nope, he's going to pull off and call it a day. But Story still on his valid one, coming around the final corner, still up on his best time.
Just
Oh
extends
yeah,
it.
improvement by almost a
54-2.
Yeah, what a lap.
54-2. That
Impressive.
is.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I was close.
you
Remember when I
look-
said they would get close to the 53s? I
Got pretty
wasn't.
close to the 53.
Didn't eat my words yet.
The top. Let's see. The top
All right, we got
26.
7 more weeks to go.
The top 26 people are all around in like a 1 second gap. So we'll see some really great close racing here today.
Yes, we will. Well, our top 10 is Story, Dahi, Anderson, Mitchell, Jason Allen, Jason Sacombe, Fire Queso, Taylor
Second.
Molyneux, David Funk,
Second.
and Simmons. Man, that was a quick qualifying. 10 minutes already done and dusted, so...
Yeah, 10 minutes, but it felt like a lot longer for me as I was trying to fix stuff on the fly. That was not very fun.
Well, let us go through the cars here. Get a nice look at all these liveries down this wonderful crafted circuit in the southern coast of France.
And while you're doing that, do you want to know today's fun fact category? I'm not going to give you any of them yet, but just to know the subject of X.
Let's get the subject, because this is a trend we are continuing from last season that John loved to do, and I do enjoy them as well.
So
first time
this
I'm
week's
hearing of it.
subject is ancient Greece.
Ooh,
I love it. Please tell me you
Good
don't
job.
get any of the things wrong and say, oh, it's Hercules when it's supposed to be Heracles.
Heracles.
Oh no, I thought about putting Heracles because it was, but yeah, I didn't do that one because a lot of people know that.
He actually did. Was originally supposed to do 10 labors, but Hera said he cheated in 2 of them, so that's why he ended up having to do 2 more and get 12 labors.
I didn't know you knew about ancient Greece stuff.
I
Ancient
am
Grecian.
In
I am a
ancient Greek,
mythological
in
nerd.
Yeah, mythological.
in ancient Greek mythology, Hera is kind of like the worst, just constantly causing grief to.
But
Yes.
hey, in comic book world, Wonder Woman goes, Hera, help us all the time, so she must be great, right?
Yeah, yeah. If the
she's
comic
definitely
books
not.
say it, it must be true.
We got someone asking about orientation races. So do you have any idea on that? Are there any more orientation races going on,
I
actually?
believe there will be a couple next week. I could be wrong. But if you are on the Discord, they will have all the events posted. I know Jason Allen does post all of those up to date as soon as he knows about them, so definitely keep an eye out for all of those. And
And
there'll be a
then-
couple practice races too as well.
And of course, never hesitate to just ask in the team series chat, because
So
they may have more up-to-date information than we do.
Yes. I just take wild stabs at things sometimes.
As this formation lap starts, let's talk about where we expect to see a lot of trouble. I mean, obviously turn 1,
Turn
but
1.
in that first lap, right? I think it's like turn 1, like turn 5. I expect some people to be on the inside, bonk people who like they just can't get enough turn in. But those are the 2 spots I'm looking out for.
I'd say turn 1 and 2 are probably going to be the worst. Maybe 9, but turn 1 and 2 will probably be the worst if there is any carnage. Because just because we think there could be might not mean there is any. Because D5 last night, we thought for sure there was going to be carnage, and then we all got through pretty much unscathed. So.
True. I mean, D9, turn 9, not D9.
D9 next season, season
Next
9,
season.
T9.
We only expand. Yeah, turn 9. I think a lot of people call that the vortex of death. So that is a very true. We'll see how true that name is.
Yeah.
Going into the race.
See, I'm gonna go
Let's
a little
hope not
bit
very.
opposite. I think turn 1 and turn 2 are probably gonna be the cleanest, because everybody's trying to race 1, trying to be on their best clean behavior. I think it's gonna be turn 5 is gonna be the main culprit. That I know that D4 saw that catch a lot of people out early last night, and then turns 12 and 13 is where I'm gonna see some other ones, just because you're gonna have that accordion backing up into the next turn potentially, so you're having to brake more than you are thinking you're going to, and you're kind of caught out by it.
Definitely.
But we see a lot of these drivers weaving on this long back straight. I do not blame them, especially on 1.9. It takes a while
That,
to,
and I hate how we can. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're all good. I mean, I'll throw it to you here, right?
You're done with your thought.
Yeah.
But I hate how we can't go faster down this straight either, because it's just so damn long, and then you can't actually get any heat in your tires because you're not going fast enough. Yesterday, I was going from literally the curb on one side to the past the white line on the other to try and get heat in.
Yep. And that's kind of where I was going, is 1.9. It's so difficult now to get heat into your tires right away. It takes a couple laps for you to even have that optimum temperature between a 70 and 100 degrees Celsius, along with having the correct pressure. I remember starting the race and I was at 25.6 when I wanted to be in that 26.6 range, just because of how this track is. So it took me a while to even get there.
So I'm on board with Story at the moment, as you can see, because I'm just watching the grid behind him. He was warming up his brakes and trying to get his tires warmed up a little bit as well just then, because he was just holding his foot on the brake while he was on the gas coming through turn 9.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, just because the heat transfer from your brakes to your tires does play a factor. Not as strong as you think, but it does help heat the tires up a bit more. So it gives you a little bit quicker time and not have to deal with cold tires for so long. So
Which is good.
I use it all the time now.
I mean,
I
the
got
name of the game
a little
for
bit of that
this
from Lefting as well in the chat.
for this entire race is just gonna be keeping your tires alive, keeping your tires alive. Don't scrub it.
Yep.
Please,
Here we
please.
go.
We are on the straight now for the leaders here, as we are getting to the start finish line, waiting for the call from Jeffrey. Green light. Here we are, away for our first race of the season. Let's see how it goes. I see 4 wide already, almost behind.
My gosh.
Oh, we are heading into turn 1. Leaders looking solid. Couple dives from a couple people down in the back there.
Wow. Yep. Relatively clean so far.
A lot of shuffling as we see. Oh no!
Big crash in the back.
Oh, hold the brakes, hold the brakes. And we see those yellow flags. I see about 5 cars off of turn 2. Let's jump back up to the leaders as they're heading into sector 2 here to get on this long minstrel straight. They are going to have that tow that will help them out. As I see another yellow flag coming through here, take a quick look back and see what happened. It looks like someone got loose and they collected each other. I believe that's turn 4 going into that area. So
I heard something interesting.
it is.
Story has
Go ahead.
Story has already opened up a 2-second gap to Anderson.
Oh my.
We haven't even done an entire lap yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, did Anderson
I mean-
pass Dahey? No.
Yeah. I mean, he's second right now.
Yeah.
A
Dahey
second gap to Dahey even.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So Anderson is 2 seconds, and then Dahey is about 1 behind Anderson.
Yes. And I can only assume that's going to get wider as we keep going here, and especially if these drivers behind start fighting. As we see
Probably.
P4 all the way down till you get to P32 are all within a second of each other, so
I'm
Staying-
actually going to be on board with Simmons basically right in the middle of that as well for this next few laps.
yeah, so we'll see how these drivers start to space themselves out and how long it's going to take, especially if we are going to see a lot of these drivers fighting, because that does take a lot of time out of your race, along with your tires too. So kind of what Tomato was saying is the survive in the tires. I know I got down to 1.6 on my rear left, so these drivers are probably going to have a little bit more just because of how much harder they are. They're driving these cars to the limit more than someone like my skill is. So we'll see how they do. John, I know we heard the pit window open. Do you want to tell us why we have the pit window open?
Yes, so we have a 55-minute pit window. It is now just the normal pit window for us here at SRA, as we see Simmons and Rebel going side by side on the straight. And the reason why is because when we had our 30-minute pit window, people would usually take their damage at the start, and if it was really bad, they'd have to repair. And then even if they've already pit once, they'd have to come in again because they couldn't get the pit requirement done. So what the 55-minute window does is all you have to do now is last for 2.5 minutes. Then you could come in, fix your damage, and go try to undercut the entire grid, and then hope that it works. And then it also helps to where if you're at the front and you're racing for the lead or something, you want to wait as long as possible, you can now wait until the final 2.5 minutes of the race to do your pit. So it gives you great opportunity to try and undercut, overcut, and just beat anybody with your strategy instead of on the track if you can't get around them.
It also allows you to get more of that fresh air if you're in the back, so you're not having to deal with cars in front. And then if you're...
Ooh, someone just spun out. Got shunted in the back.
Oh no.
I'll take a look at that. Oh, we got a couple people into the pits. Oh, we got a lot of people into the pits.
A lot of people taking that early
There's
pit.
a lot of people going 2 to 3 wide coming out of that fast straight, and then a lot of contact happening there. People shooting way outside into the asphalt or tungsten part of the track that just shreds your tires.
Tungsten?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's painted with tungsten and something else, I believe.
Yeah, they developed it in a way that if you go over this, it starts like shredding your tires, so you slow down naturally.
Yep.
Wow, I actually didn't know that. That's actually very interesting.
Blue
I'm gonna
being
be on
the
board.
least abrasive, and then red being the most abrasive.
We're gonna watch Taylor Molyneux get overtaken by Doug Mitchell in that Ferrari on the straight like it was nothing, just walking past him.
That is the power of the toe here. That I know that Ferrari and the Lamborghini can almost get up to 290. I know. I saw yesterday Fazley posted a screenshot of him getting the 290, so it is possible.
However, that is Fazley, so you know he's pretty skilled, we'll say.
He is very
What?
skilled.
Really?
Who would have thought it? So now that Doug has gotten past Taylor, Doug is just gone. He's already opened up a second one. Now Doug's going to be all over the back of David Funk and Jason Allen, who are trying to catch up Dahey and Anderson. And Anderson already 3 seconds behind Story.
I'm on board with Funk as we see Doug setting the fastest lap. Purple lap for Doug.
Doug is not washed, confirmed.
Conspiracy theory is finally being proven false.
We need Spangler in here with his tinfoil hat to help us get these conspiracy theories going.
It's the opposite. We curse them the other way.
Hey, I think he'll take that.
Yeah. So his success is completely on us.
Agreed. We'll take credit for that. Doug, you can thank us.
Oh wow. AE is all the way down to 26. Or no, that's a different. A lot of similar names. My bad.
Wait a second. Dahey's in third.
I read D. Lee, and in my head I was like, Dahey? What?
Oh no.
Hey, don't worry, I've done that with Martin Riggs and Max Diggs. If they're in the same server, I get them confused all the time.
Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Anastasi and Gino having a close battle coming down the.
As we get into it, I jumped on board there. They are in similar cars, so being in that similar car, you don't have the necessarily an advantage over one or the other. Really, that toe is what's going to help you, because, like, for example, if you said, "Oh, he's in a Porsche," he's obviously has the advantage in the corners.
Oh, no, we got contact between Doug and Jason Allen and David Funk, and then whoa, someone went off ahead of them. Let's see. I'm gonna take a quick little replay at this. I was watching this and I noticed Mitchell was going down the inside of Funk just a little bit too closely, just barely tapped the inside. Mitchell was able to go along. Funk not so much, and then it looks like Jason Allen just had a spin on his own coming out of that second to last corner. So.
Yeah, I'm rewinding back. I may have gone a little too far for Allen to see, because I see, like you said, the background there, Mitchell. Yeah, Allen just on his own may have gotten the power just a little too early there, and caught some oversteer. One thing that is kind of nice about that new Lamborghini that he's in is it has different engine maps for engine braking rather than power differences. So map 1 has the least engine braking, whereas map 5 is the most aggressive, and then map 3 being kind of the default engine braking. I think that's a really cool feature that they brought in as a team and car manufacturer for racing, just because I know using it and being in map 5, you really got that car to turn. But if you kind of struggled with that and felt it was too oversteery, all you had to do was turn it back down to 3 or even 1, and you were fine. So.
We just had what looks a little bit of team-on-team action. Could have been a bit of team orders there between Dustin, Fickard, and Fire Queso. They swapped positions on the straight. Maybe let Dustin take a go at Taylor, because Queso had a great opportunity to get inside of Fickard right then and just did not take it.
I know I'm on board with Funk versus I believe that is Christian. This is Christian. So just watching and seeing Christian kind of stick his nose in there, or stick their nose in there every once in a while and put a little pressure on, but they have to be careful because that's allowing the car behind Alan to really kind of catch up and be like, hey, I'm here too, you can't just pay attention. As we see Funk dive into the pits, probably repair some of that damage that they sustained earlier on. But
towards the back of the grid, you can see like 25th Dave, Lee, the other Lee but spelled differently. They're all like so close to each other, just waiting for someone to make it, or like going 3 wide down the straight. It's so great to see battles happening all around the grid.
yeah,
Oh, it really is.
It reminds me of Spain last season, John.
Yes.
There was non-stop action, and we learned our lesson. We're not we're not as chaotic as last season.
I'm trying today because there's a lot. There's just as much going on today as there was then, but we're not, killing one another.
Yeah. Answering chat, Story has put last lap was a 55.295, and that is
Putting him
a
best
purple
lap
lap.
now.
Yep.
Yep.
He's opened up 3.7 seconds to Anderson as well. And then Anderson is 2 seconds to Dahey.
Alan is making his way up the leaderboard, now back into 10th place.
Alright. I saw Anastasi versus Gino. A lot of trust going into that fast right-hander after the straight, just because if you are on the outside there, you have more of that optimum line, whereas on the inside you have to brake a little more, but it's a lot easier to wash out into the other car. So great move there by Anastasi, as we saw him do a little under to get the optimum line on exit and have that car placed in front now of Matthias, who is also now under pressure, or Matthias is putting pressure on Gino. I can't read too.
And you were talking about the trust that they have, and I think the whole reason why is because they raced each other last season quite a bit, Anastasi and Gino.
Yes, that does help out.
So they both know, yeah, okay, if I go side by side, he's not going to try and obliterate me.
Well, they are going back at it, as we see Gino trying to do maybe that over-under switchback maneuver that we all love to see. I think that's my favorite racing maneuver right there, is that
over under,
the switchback. Well, yeah, you can, it's a couple different names, but the over under switchback,
I guess you can call it that,
because you do start on the over and then you go underneath it, you just flip-flop.
That is very true, you do. So I've just never heard it called that before, so I was confused of what you meant when you said it last lap.
Yeah. I know that you're on board with the wing of Anastasi. I'm on board the bumper of Gino, just so you can see if this gap does close, but you get to see the power of the toe here as he is closing in at a fast pace, trying to go for that outside line. But Anastasi placing the car perfectly right there so that you can't commit to that outside line and have to go to that inside. And on the inside line being a little bit more of a daring commitment, shall we say.
Actually getting a great of a battle going on behind them as well. Schaefer overtook Mathis on the straight, and then Mustillo and Mathis were going side by side through turn 9 just then.
Yeah, I see them going at it as well. I'm going to jump on board there with David. battling, I believe that is Sebastian. But they are looking like a strong battle to follow here. David really putting that pressure on right now, just again showing their nose as they dive into the pits.
You gotta love it when you set up a great battle and then it's just nope, I'm going to the pits.
Sometimes it's unexpected too. You just think, oh, I'm battling, and they're in the pits. And you're like, wait, where did they go? I was just, wait, what am I supposed to do now?
Well, also, I'm following John Carbona, who is on board with one of the new teams that came in, TSE, Tier Sim Racing Esports. They made a wonderful blue, black, and white livery with their logo on top there. Glad that we got another big conglomerate joining us this season. We are at that point of the race where we're starting to see a lot of these cars spread out. I say that as I see Fickert getting a nice run here at the end of the Minstrel Straight. Side by side into the turn with Taylor. Taylor going really wide. That's going to be a nice fat warning probably. And Fickert gets the move done.
Great move.
Logan Schaefer is drifting his way around the corner at the end of the straight there. That was impressive. Nice save.
Yeah, that is going to be hard on the tires. And you might think, 45 minutes into the race, you're going, should I take tires or should I just risk it?
I learned the hard way that you should not.
I think, but everyone is gonna just risk it because the sweet chance of victory is just all it takes to convince.
Somebody wants a Jeremy check. Good old Jess Spangler wants a Jeremy check.
4.5 seconds up. Also, their last lap did put in another purple lap. 1:55.55.
Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous.
1:55.295. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we got a yellow flag. Let's see. It's Mostillo. Looks as if coming off the straight into turn 9, the U. He just kind of started to lose it. Was able to catch it. Then got a tank slapper, brought him into the blue lines on the side. So, but he's still on the track and was able to keep it out of the wall. So he's still good.
That's good. Well,
I'm going to be on board with Landshark now as he's fighting another comic racer, Mike Scott, for the battle for P29.
Well, I saw Carbo make a move in that last hairpin-ish corner, and then he's got Polyak now trying to fight back, but may have went a little too hot into turn 1, had to back out, and is losing some times. I see a yellow flag for 9:54 of Almeida. What's happened here? See, oh, just lost it on the exit there of that sweeping right-hander after the long straight. That is a corner that can do that very easily on, just because if you turn in with a little too much pressure on the brakes, your car will get unsettled, and just now you're a passenger at that point. I know you're.
Hey, at least you kept it out of the wall.
True. You're on the Landshark battle. I will go to Logan Schaefer right now, who is actually in battle as well. I know you have him, Landshark, on the Minstrel Straight there, so hopefully
Yes, I do.
we'll catch up. But is it the same manufacturer on same manufacturer? Ferrari on
It
Ferrari?
is. But Shark was able to get within a tenth now as they're coming off of it. So this is going to be an interesting little battle. I noticed that Mike was a little bit faster than Landshark through this section last time. That doesn't look like it's going to be this time. They're side by side going into the next corner. Shark's going to have to back his nose out just a little bit to not make contact. That's going to let Scott get the inside line for this next turn. But Landshark's just going to go around the outside and say, thank you very much, I'll take that, and then be on his merry way and get past Michael Scott. I think he needs to go back to Scranton and talk to Jan on how to get a little bit faster.
Something I did notice about that Ferrari of theirs, do you know what luxury designer logo that is? All scattered throughout that entire car.
Louis Vuitton.
Yes. That is,
Works well for the first race of the season.
It does. I believe that. I'm gonna find out where he actually was from, which part of the European region. Let me do some Googling real quick.
But I'm just hoping that we really get that cease and desist order from Ferrari. I want it.
mean, I don't know about that.
Well, while we've got a time while you're looking that up, do you want to hear my first fun fact about ancient Greece?
Yes, let's hear it.
All right, the Parthenon, the famous ancient Greek building. The Parthenon was actually blown up at one point. It was blown up while Greece was under the Ottoman Empire's rule. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty cool.
I believe I have heard that. I thought also too during World War II it was used as a. I could be wrong here. I heard that it was used for their armory and used for like their bombs and stuff like that in that region.
Huh. Yeah, because that's going to go well. You put bombs in a big building. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. By the way, Louis Vuitton's headquarters is in Paris, so quite a ways from the southern coast of France.
Just a bit, yeah. Actually, I think closer to Le Mans than it is this racetrack.
I'm not good at all the geography of all the tracks yet. I gotta get there.
The only reason I know that is because we went to Paris when, like 8 or 9 years ago. I learned to drive a stick there. A really garbage Buick, basically. It was the Opel badge instead. And we were on the highway, and I saw a sign for Le Mans. I'm like, oh yes, I want to go. My dad goes, yeah, maybe in a couple years. I'm like, you bastard, why?
Easy, but I get the appeal. But I am jumping on board with the fight here, going from Molyneux all the way down to Allen. So that's P6 through P9. All of them are within a second of each other, all just trying to fight for positions here.
Actually, it goes down to 10. Saldivia is only 8/10 behind Allen. So
then,
what I'm going to do is I'll get you the back end of this feud.
There we go. I'm in the middle right now with Dan Rebel and that Ghost Rider livery. Yeah.
You'll see here, it's just waiting and waiting just for that moment to prey upon the fighting happening above, below, around, everywhere you can possibly see. And then you'll just see a massive shuffle of people moving.
Pit. Someone going in the pit in that fight, so.
Okay, so.
Oh. I mean, fair on them. Trying to get out of it. Maybe want to try to get that clean air and be able to push. We are roughly a little over 20 minutes into this race, so maybe just need to cool down the tires there.
So, you know how I said that Dustin Fickert and Firekissel looked like they had a little bit of team orders there? I think I was right, because Dustin is now past Taylor and fighting to get up to Doug in fourth. So he's past Taylor by over 2 seconds now.
Oh my gosh. Well, we do have team orders maybe coming up too. We got Taylor and Dan next to each other. I see a car go off there.
That was Saldivia in ninth. He got traction messed up on the exit of 6 there. It's going to let Allen get past, probably in that Lamborghini. Yep, it does. So Saldivia not getting the best of exits out of turn 6 on the straight, so he just kind of slides off and lets Allen pass.
There's nothing really you can do once you make that mistake. They're following behind in the straight. Just that exit is everything.
It really is.
Dan
It's
Rebel.
weird to see a Plan E logo on a Lamborghini.
Hey, it was weird to see a Ferrari upside down prancing horse on a Porsche last year too. Okay,
That was awful. I hated that. Jess, I can't believe you did that last week.
that was all Jerry's doing though.
But let's be honest, we saw Jess's, so we can blame Jess.
Fair.
And Waleed, my new teammate.
Oh, if you want to check out what Jess is doing right now, head over to Twitch. He is actually doing that commentary. Have him actually in both screens.
Stay with us.
We have him on both screens. Support both channels. Also,
Exactly.
if you're on the Twitch one, you get bread points that you can use for the stream review.
To make our poor presenters get absolutely plastered during stream reveals.
We got
I'm gonna be on
admin
board
on
with
admin
Doug
fight
now.
here. We're watching the same fight. I love it. I'll go on the wing here. Dahi.
I'll be on the passenger for Doug.
You can see Doug just trying to eye up a move on a comrade there in the admin team. Dahi, for those that don't know, did take a little time off just because he became a father, and rightfully so. Life comes first.
Major props.
Exactly. So, congratulations to Dahi, and we're happy that he's found the time to be able to come back and race with us all.
I mean,
And,
he's knocking
we're
it out of
getting
the park, just coming back.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Currently set up for third with half an hour left thereabout.
Yeah, you got Doug breathing down your neck. So
Now the
see how you
question
can do
is,
here.
let's watch his line and see if we can tell if he has the line turned back on.
I don't think he does.
Probably not. He just really wants to get past Dahi. You just know he is frothing at the mouth. He's
Oh.
like, I gotta do it.
Yes, I agree. Also, you know what's gonna be great if Doug keeps this up, you know, he wins the silver and we get to interview him. I'm actually
Yes.
kind of looking forward to that, just because we won't hear the end of it from him.
We're gonna have to ask him about all the things that we've been saying during the race.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly hop off this fight, go to Fire Queso, who is making a move here on the Minstrel Straight on the exit. Here again, that really trusting spot. Unable to make that move stick though, as they had to get a little more on the brakes, which does open up Moffitt behind to put the pressure on, along with Carbo. So instantly going from fighting the car behind to now having to defend two cars, and it's very easy to lose two positions in one go if you end up going side by side. There's some of these corners, and that car behind can really just kind of sit there and be like, who's going faster, and then pick that line.
Speaking of pressure, like, you see sometimes a guy coming up behind you, but then you also see his teammate also coming up behind you. Think about the extra added pressure just from that alone. You see it happen throughout the race. Just two of the same team members approaching. That is a tactic in and of itself.
Yeah, because we're not only racing as individual drivers. This is a team series, so you not only have the driver split for gold, the driver split for silver. You do have that team series champion also doing that wonderful coveted shoey at the end of the season. I'm gonna go on boards with Williams back here. I know you're following that Dan Rebel fight up ahead.
Yes, I am.
Let me know if anything spicy starts happening up there, and I'll try to jump on board as we look through the entire field. How we, Tomato, you want to give us an update with pits? I also see Krochek has a drive-through, so where are we looking at pit strategies right now with drivers up and down the grid?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. The people who are like at the very probably will benefit more from just staying out and trying to extend that stint and that gap as long as possible, so that when they do pit, the damage is as little as possible. But on the other side, pitting early and try to capitalize on people who haven't pit yet and just taking the position there and having them fight it out is equally beneficial. So you'll see a shift like slowly when people should be pitting optimally, like down the leaderboard.
It looks like roughly half or so of our grid is pitted. I know I see P1 through 16 have yet to pit. Is there anyone after that, like 17 through I believe that is 37th? Have they all pit?
See, it seems like everyone, yeah, has pit. Only people who haven't pit is 16th and above.
Okay.
Like pretty much everybody 16th and above.
Oh no. Dog probably getting a fat warning right there. That or actually getting a actual track cut as Daihi goes wide. That allows Doug to slip on by. So Doug put the pressure on while also going wide the corner before, but not by that much. Daihi folding under the pressure right there, and that has allowed Doug to get P4. Now trying to, or no, that moves him up to P3. Daihi back into P4. Now Doug is now going to try to chase Aaron Anderson and crew ahead of him. A little update on story. They are 6.5 seconds ahead and growing that lead out.
Oh my gosh. I
And
think we're about to see a new D2
just
driver.
Absolute consistency, keeping that delta like almost exactly the same, if not like getting slightly towards improvement. And you know, speaking of pressure, like you can see patience winning out with keeping the pressure, just waiting and waiting and waiting. Mistake happens.
And an update for you, the Rebel and Allen battle. Jason Allen, is into the pits.
It's one way as I see a car in the pit there go a little wide on the right side. What happened there?
Wait, what?
I'm watching the pit and the fight that you're on. I remember it was a blue flag moment. They just kind of dove off to the side.
See.
As that Mercedes kind of dove off to the side at one point.
Oh no, that's Rebel. I don't know what happened there. I was paying attention, but somehow didn't notice what happened.
I caught it in the corner of my eye of the pip there. It looks like he got a little squirrely and ended up in that blue tarmac area. And that allowed
in my defense, my race control is blocking like that portion of the screen, so it's a little hard to see what's going on over there.
Fair enough.
But Dan Rebel's all over the back of Allen again on the straight, so didn't seem to hurt him too much. He's gonna try and go for the switchback. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting move if he can make it. He's not gonna be able to make it.
That one, that's another.
Ooh, that's gonna open it for Matt Anastasia.
Yeah,
just got
trying
a
to
very
capitalize
bad
it.
track cut. Very, very fat track cut.
Oh no! See, that's what I like about Sector 3. With the variety of that, you do have a couple options for different lines that actually work for all the corners. It may not flow completely together if you take the multiple lines, because obviously there's that one optimal, but it does allow you to have that extra way to go for defending and still not sacrifice a ton of speed and time. So that's why I really like Sector 3, even though I'm not good at it.
You see the amount of trust too going into these corners, being so close to the bumpers, just being like, yeah, this person knows what they're doing, so I can do this too.
Yes. John, looking at the time, it is 28 minutes left in this race. You know what that means.
Time for a fact.
No, it means tell us the biggest winner and loser so far as we...
Ooh, yes. Biggest winners and losers. Let me take a look-see. I'm going to go biggest winners first if I can get my scroll wheel to work, which apparently I can't.
This is also an asterisk
go.
because pit strategies do play a part of this as well.
They do, and it'll change. But so far, our biggest winner... Wait, that makes no sense. What? Somehow our biggest winner is down 15 spots. Okay, I think I don't think I'll be able to do that today because mine's all messed up. Because
having the same issue as you, I think inverted, maybe. Like look at their grid.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay,
What
so I
the
need the
heck?
biggest red number. Okay. Our biggest winner so far has not pit. It's Lee in 14th. He started on the grid 38th, and he's in 14th, so he's up 24 positions. Whereas race control would like tell me he's down 24 positions.
I mean, Morrison is close behind there too, with 23
He is
positions
more
made
than
up.
23 spots. He started in 35th. He's up into 12th now in that Mercedes. Our biggest losers so far. My scroll wheel just died
Oh no.
again. It is a no-no. All right, biggest losers so far, and again, this is asterisk because it will change. Is Ryder, who is in 31st. He started 15th, down 16 spots. And then 34th through 37th, all down 13 spots as well. They actually started 21, 2, 3, and 4. So they're
if I were to
34,
take a
5, 6, and
gander,
7.
it was due to that like lap 1 accident that probably knocked them all towards the back.
Probably. And we do have another yellow flag. So I'm going to take a look at what happened here between Saudre and Mustillo. Saudre went a little wide, and then Mustillo and Saudre came together, and Scott was able to just barely slip on by, but those two came out a little worse for the wear there.
Well,
Oh,
while
and
you
we
were
have another
doing
yellow
that,
flag as Mustillo just went off again.
yeah.
Just to figure out what happened here.
While you were going over kind of that biggest winner and losers, we had a fight between Christian and Jason Allen there in that sector 3, starting with that big right-handed sweeping kind of that double apex corner. I believe that's turn 9. Starting there and then going literally all the way to the end of sector 3 to the start-finish straight, battling with each other and pretty much staying side by side the entire time, with Christian coming out ahead, but they are now on to that straight. So we'll see if Christian can hold that or if Jason Allen is going to get past with that toe that he has there.
All right. And just an update for you on what happened with the last spin. After heating up his tires, he gunned it a little bit too hard through the corner I'm on board with Gino through right now and just ended up in the dirt. So
Toe's too strong. Allen is passed right now, and the battle continues on into Sector 3 once again. Also, I see that Logan Schaefer has a drive-through, unfortunately. We'll see if he decides to clear that this lap or not.
he does, as Gino's going to be going, thank you for that, and just drive on past without even having to do an overtake in the battle for P9.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tomato.
Allen has been having a great race. Just made up 12 positions, starting 19, and is continuing to push. It's great to see.
Yeah, and right now, especially in that fight with Christian, who also now has Fire Queso to worry about behind him. So a 3-car battle starting to heat up here, and if Christian decides to make any sense, allowing Fire Queso even closer to the fight. So I know they are going to have some potential blue flags thrown in the mix at some point, as I see Allen's also etching the car in front of Simmons. So that now turned into a 4-car battle.
The car in front of Allen is Schaefer. Okay. He served as drive-through.
Okay, so yes, that does. They came out right in front and immediately threw a drive-through into a fight. So as Jason's trying to make this move stick, as well, Schaefer potentially losing out on 2 spots here, door to door with Christian onto the straight. Christian pulling
maybe a
ahead.
third here because Fire Queso is all over his back end now.
Yeah,
He's getting that definitely better exits. Just you can see it makes such a massive difference down the straight, and there's not much you can do. That much. I think he's taking advantage of.
Fire Queso stuck his nose out just a little bit too soon and lost some speed because Schaefer was able to draft into Saldivia. So Queso unfortunately did not get past Logan when he had a great opportunity to, so he's going to put his nose back down and keep fighting.
Yeah, that's something that tends to happen if you decide to stick out too early. Oh
and
no, Schaefer gone.
Logan. Yes, I got a great view of that. He hit those yellow curves on the inside of that turn 10. It just sent him flying off to the side there. So Schaefer's going to lose spots to Carbo, Moffitt, and Rebel at least. Looks like he's going to lose one more to Poliak, and then he's going to be back in the fight in P23. So he just lost 5 spots because of that.
What a massive cut.
Oh, no.
that one spot, man, is not the first time it's not gonna people hitting that spot, spinning out constantly.
Now, something interesting. Fire Queso now has a problem of his own. John Carbo is in P19. He's about a second behind him. He's been slowly creeping up on him the last few laps. So Carbo is now going to be trying to get past Queso into the Saldivia Jason Allen battle.
Well, I wonder if these tire temps are getting a little hot because you're taking those suboptimal lines and putting a little bit more pressure and leaning on these tires a bit more. So if you are inducing a spin, like you have more of a chance of inducing that spin because they are a little hotter. You don't have that grip that you would like to have. So,
Oh yeah, I saw a couple of instances of that yesterday.
well, we are back again onto this long straight as we see Queso trying to get that slipstream, but with having the car in front also have the slipstream, it's kind of a mute point. So I don't see him getting
Mute
past
point.
Mute point? You mean moot point?
moot, whatever.
A mute point.
It's like a cow's
Someone
opinion.
get this. Oh God. Hi Joey. How are you?
I saw the opportunity, had to take it.
That's what we like to see. I'll set it up, you slam dunk it, or softball, you hit the home run.
So I am gonna move away from this battle, and I'm gonna go up to the front because Douglas Mitchell is within half a second of Aaron Anderson at the moment.
How far back is Aaron Anderson from Story there?
7.6 from Story.
Oh my gosh!
I think Story might be getting a promotion.
At this rate, yeah. They are.
Doug Mitchell in the silver division at the moment. He might be moving to gold. Actually, Doug just flashed Anderson there. I'm not entirely sure why, but maybe to let him know, hey, I'm here. I'm going to take a move.
Every distraction gives you a 10th, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, they're not in the Porsche.
Doug might be letting Anderson have this for now because he just backed off there on the straight as he was coming up to him.
Have you guys seen the Porsche's flashers this season? The new one,
Oh
the
my God,
992?
it's epilepsy warning needed for that. Seriously, it's ridiculous.
Just wait till we get to
It
the
gives
night
me a
race.
headache. I'm good. I will not be flashing during that night race. That is for damn sure.
I agree. I am in the same boat with that Porsche.
I think I would actually give myself a seizure. I don't even have epilepsy.
Well, I'm gonna pull off this fight too that we've been watching between Alan, Christian, Queso, and Carbo now. And go a little further back to Dan Rebel on this straight, trying to overtake Moffitt. Has that slipstream, and looks like they could get alongside. They are about 2/3 of the way down with this very long straight. Wheel. Nope. They were wheel to wheel, but Dan opts to pull out and drive another day there as they try to set up another move against Moffitt.
All right, so we do have less than 20 minutes left in this race. If nothing happens to this next turn, can I give you my second ancient Greek fact?
Go for it.
Ancient Greece fact?
Let's hear it.
All right, looks like we're gonna have just a quick little break here. So, the Greek statues that we know as being white in modern day, they were once painted and adorned with bright colors. So, all what we see is white marble. It used to be painted marble.
Oh.
But a lot of people didn't actually know that.
I didn't.
I did,
That's for
but-
sure.
I don't think I knew that one either. That one is news to me.
I'm sure a lot of them were actually just white marble, but there were a few, or at least a good number that were painted or, I guess, something with bright colors. So, yeah. And I have one more when we get to the last 10 or so minutes of the race.
Man, you are spreading these out tonight on a good time and good
Oh,
pace.
yeah. I can't give them too quickly like I did at the beginning when I started Fun Facts last season. We were always done before the 30-minute mark.
Fair
Hey,
enough.
this is the learning experience. Everyone does it.
I am going to be on the back, still on this Mugless. Wow, maybe I'm beginning to be really bad at where. Oh, Story, yellow flag. Oh, he's in the pit. Okay.
Dude, trust me,
sorry,
I've done
I
it
was
all
yelling.
night. That pit lane throws that yellow flag every single time someone goes
ridiculous.
in.
They should just move the pit entry to the off the frickin' straight like it used to be.
No, do the F1 pit entry. That's the
Yes,
right
that
to do.
one. That's the one I meant. My bad. But I'm still on board with this Douglas Mitchell Aaron Anderson fight, as Doug at the beginning, still flashing Aaron, by the way, but at the beginning of the last lap, or the beginning of this lap, he was within 2/10, and then coming through turn 1, has lost about a second on him.
Honestly, a Story hitting there is gonna even increase the gap further because Doug and Anderson are fighting it out, so they're gonna be slower and slower. So now is a really great time to take a hit for him.
It reminds me of like when you're playing Mario Kart and you are sitting in first and you're just watching the carnage happen behind you because second and third are throwing red shells and bananas at each other while you're just pulling away, just kind of going, "Hey, I'm here." That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Wait, you were actually first place in Mario Kart?
Sometimes. It's called racing at 150cc against the AI.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, someone just went off.
Did
Oh,
he
I see
actually
it,
go off? Or...
5:30.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, it's
go off.
Story. Oh no.
Oh, they
Hang on.
teleported the pits. I'm pulling
Let's
that back
see.
up.
Hang on. I'm gonna look as well. Story coming through turn 1 just kind of went off the track, and I think they may be having some issues. They just pulled off and went to the pits.
Interesting. That is not something you like to see, but that does promote Aaron Anderson into the lead. And then
Williams. I'm sorry. Williams just had an amazing overtake on Saudre in turn 1.
oh no!
No.
Oh,
We get the insider scoop from the man himself. Base just shut off and won't reset. Oh,
that
you
pain-
hate to see
the
it.
pain. It's
As
all
Douglas
too
Mitchell goes
real.
into the pits.
Oh
That is-
no.
I hope this doesn't become a recurring theme like Eduardo in D4 last season, where every single race was blue
Fatal error.
screen. Every single
Oh.
race.
Oh, I
And I know
hate
what
to tell you
happened
this, John.
yesterday as well.
It did happen
Worse.
yesterday.
He already got one. We're race 1, and it's already happening again.
I know.
I mean, last season during Misano, there was a thunderstorm flickering around me, and I'm just like, please don't, please don't. And then the power just cuts. Your race is
Oh.
over.
Oh. Well,
All right, tomato. I got a question for you.
Yeah, let's
Since
hear it.
Doug Mitchell just came out in P8, how many people ahead of him have pit and have not pit?
I'm telling you right now, almost no one in the. So actually, everyone in front of him has not pit yet. So
Well, that's good news for him.
yeah, but it depends on the gap, right? So, for example, Fickert is so far away from Anderson. Anderson might be have more benefit hitting if there's no one really directly challenging him to just extend that gap further before pitting.
well, dog.
He might be too far. I'm doing the math fast as I go along, so 13. I'm just kind of rounding as well.
Well,
Doug is about 37 seconds behind Aaron Anderson at the moment.
well, and then also he's got Lee right there behind him already, putting pressure on. So
That too.
if he
Yeah,
has
if you
to
wait
fight
too
here,
much
he's gonna lose
Catching up
time.
to Morrison as well, because he's only 1 second thereabouts behind Morrison for 7th.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this strategy pays off when, as they say, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
I mean, Anderson is not finding anyone, and there's, as far as I can tell, there isn't really in front of him to worry about.
He's got a
Doug-
couple blue flags he's coming up to in Whitting Jr. and I think that is Mathis potentially. But
Mathis
other
also,
than
I
that,
believe, has the drive-through at the moment. I could be mistaken.
but other than that, he seems to be doing okay.
Oh, Mathis
Yeah.
did clear his drive-through.
Whoa, wait! Moffitt from in the middle of the race while in a battle with Rebel is sending messages in the chat.
I think that may be a different Moffat.
Hopefully,
Probably, I hope so.
hey, we'll just be impressed, right?
Yeah, because that is Justin Moffat, and the person on track is Joel Moffat.
No, let me be right.
No.
Let him live in his fantasy world. What is
Welcome to the
fact?
text
What is
and drive
fiction?
Actually, I'm kidding, kids. Don't text and drive. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Oh, and don't drink and drive. There we go. I got all the PSAs out of the way.
I was waiting for
no,
that. I
you
was
didn't
like,
get
I
all.
feel like you're
Only
missing
you can
something.
prevent forest fires. You forgot that one.
Ah, right. I'm sorry. My favorite one.
Well, looking at Lee is backed off a little bit. second and a half back, but Doug finds himself battling Morrison as I see Lee just going
Now,
sideways.
Is he going into the pits, or was it an actual yellow
That was
flag?
actual yellow flag. I saw him
Okay.
completely sideways
Whoa.
there.
I'm sorry, for the loud whoa, but Fire Queso and Saldivia almost came together. I didn't even know Queso was there out of the straight. That was special. So what happened with Lee?
So going into that turn, you struck me with this. Now I can't remember turn numbers.
You're welcome. I just don't even try. I just call them by what they look like. So if it's 9 and 10, I say the U.
Yeah, it's that one. It's 9 and 10. Going into 9, may have just had too much steering angle as they were braking, and back end went out and they were gone. You could hear him probably in
not
the.
what you want to see.
If we had the ability to hear what was going on in that cockpit, you would hear him go, that good old Charles Leclerc, no! Scream.
No. Stupid.
I'm sure there would have been some other words too as well. We just saw David Funk go down the inside of Lee, actually.
Yep.
But a different Lee.
So many Lees.
Yes, Lee in the yellow Ferrari, not Lee in the purple Ferrari, and spelled differently
If you
as well.
want to annoy people but make a distinction, you can call one of them lie.
Oh, God. I don't think
No.
we'd be hearing positive things after that one.
No.
We would not be hearing positive things. I'm going to be watching Doug as he's trying to overtake Morrison on the straight here. Looks as if he is going to be able to do it so far. He's got to make it stick coming through these next few corners. So far, doing it good. And there we go. No track cuts so far this one either. Nice. That's what you like to see from Doug. Means he might have the wheel on or some grip hacks. Who knows?
Oh, come on. Let him be. Let him cook.
He's doing good through the U, so I think he has, in fact, gotten past Morrison now in the fight to catch up to Gino, who, correct me if I am wrong, Tomato, but has not pit and battle for P6.
Yes, Gino has not pit. But speaking of Morrison, he's made up 29 positions, starting in 35th on the grid.
Okay, good. Okay.
That is
Still
impressive.
needs to pit, though, so that might drop him back just, a couple positions, but still impressive nonetheless.
Now, Punk was able to pass the lead that spun as well this lap. He's now into P10 and just on his merry old way.
Well, look at the time. It is 8 minutes left in the race. You want to give us that fun fact if you got opportunity to?
Sure. Now, this one might be controversial, but it's interesting. So, everyone knows about the blue triangular pill. Ancient Greeks had their own version of that as well. Instead of a blue pill, though, they used honey and pepper. So instead of Viagra, it was pepper. Honey and pepper. Hepper. Came up with that name right now.
It was, yeah.
Was it effective?
I don't know. I don't think I want to figure it out either. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
Oh, gosh.
Honey and pepper.
That
Isn't
doesn't
that just
sound
like a
very
barbecue
appetizing.
sauce at that point?
I mean, it does added some tomato, like ketchup, and a
Hey.
little bit of vinegar. You do have a barbecue sauce,
You need
basically.
to add
I
yeah,
don't
you
wanna
need to
be
add that
part of the
acid in
barbecue
there.
sauce.
Yeah, you gotta have that acid or else it's garbage. But this time that never helped me again because of that fun fact.
I mean, I don't blame him. Don't blame
You
him.
killed it.
What happened to Jeremy?
His
Jeremy-
wheelbase disconnected.
Yeah, had some technical difficulties. The basically sim racing equivalent of your engine dying.
Well, more like a steering rack, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, it was not a disconnect. It was the wheelbase actually disconnecting, unfortunately, and having some issues. Like I said, they reset it. No force feedback. Kevin.
I hate every time I see a yellow flag.
Kelvin saying that you are disassociated from now on, John, and goodbye.
Wow. I have basically just been disowned by Kelvin. I cannot believe this. I am disappointed. I'm so very sad. How could you do this to me, Kelvin? How can I do this to myself?
Oh, John,
You know what
you
they
have no
say,
one
you
to
reap
blame
what
but
you
your
sow.
fun fact.
I know.
It was a little too fun, I guess.
I know. I thought it was gonna be fun. Not ending relationships with people fun.
Uh,
All right. So has anybody in the top 4 pit yet?
Top 4. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you this. My race control is no longer cooperating, so I cannot answer that question.
Is that your stuff?
I can go to the race. Looks like top 4 have not pit, and 8 and 9 have not pit, but everyone else has.
All right. So top 4. That means that Doug, who is about 34 seconds behind Aaron Anderson at the moment, has got to put in a couple heaters here with this clean air he's getting, because Anderson's coming into the pits right now.
I think the average pit time is like 30 to 35 seconds.
That's including travel time, too. Let's
Yeah.
actually look and find out. Seeing a lot of 38s. That looks like probably the optimum is that 38 to 40 if you get that splash and dash correct. I'm on board with...
Here's what we'll do. I'll stay on board with our man here, Douglas Mitchell.
Yeah, with 3 people pitting, he has some open air to try and... if he can.
I'm gonna
Has
jump on
Aaron
board
come
with
out yet?
Aaron. He's at the line now, so it's gonna be really tight. There goes Doug. And there
Dang.
goes someone else for who that was.
Dahy into
Dahy.
3rd.
That leaves Taylor Molyneux up in first.
But he hasn't
But-
pit yet.
He has
Oh,
not pit.
and Dave Funk into... Oh, no, maybe just a yellow flag? Or was he coming out of the pits?
On exit, it's a yellow flag too. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, you gotta love it. It's so great.
I mean, that goes to show just how much like a good pit stop makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and see the pit. Aaron Anderson stopped for the total time was 44 seconds, whereas Doug had a 38-second pit stop. Doug always liked to harp on this. Pit lane execution is very vital in a race, especially like this when you have the splash and dash being so strong.
Yeah, and when you have such a close battle, right? They're like within a second, you know? They're talking about tenths. And then having a 4-second gap in pit, that's massive.
Yeah, that is the equivalent
That can be the difference between you finishing in 1st or you finishing in 4th.
Exactly.
Which at the moment is happening. Aaron.
Taylor's into the pits. Let's see where that puts him.
All right, I'm going to be on board with Doug. He's coming around the last few corners here, so Taylor's not going to be in front of him. I'm thinking he might come out around...
I think he's going to come around, like, probably, I was thinking 8th, because Funk and Crew are rounding the last 2 corners now.
I guess we're going to find out. I'm going to be on board here with Lee as they're coming around the last corner if you're on board with Taylor. Oh, and Lee's actually going to be going into the pits, so that's not going to be the best one to look at.
Happens all the time.
You gotta love it. And Taylor does come out, and he comes out right behind David Funk.
Oh, wow.
He's in P8 right now.
Yep. That is about, what, 10 seconds? Where am I looking?
Let's see, Taylor also had one of the splash and dashes. Consistent.
Darren!
Starts in P8, is currently P8. As pit window closes, we have now finished off all the pits as we wait for Lee to come out and see where he comes out. Once we do, then we will have our official list of winners and losers, and we can kind of try to figure out who we think is driver of the day between the 3 of us.
Yes. Lee waited till the very last second to do that pit stop.
Oh my God. Is Lee
You know, we
here?
might have a battle here for the lead as Dahy and Doug are going within a second again. So what we saw at the start may be happening at the end as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just the Nyan Nyan cat like completely powering.
Oh no, please don't even start this. Fire Castle looking like they're making a move here.
Oh wow.
Christian. Looks like they got the move done because of the toe there. Christian trying to come back here into turns 9 and 10. I know, Tomato, you were trying to say something there?
Nah, nothing important. Let's
Okay.
keep watching.
You want me to give you a relatively updated biggest winners losers?
Yeah, let's
Go
hear
for
it.
it.
All right, so biggest winner with a few minutes left in the race is probably looking like Lee in 22nd, who started in the grid P38, made his way up 16 spots, so he did pretty damn good. Even with that last minute pit stop, he was able to keep it in and was doing pretty good. Biggest loser for today, out of the people that are still here, was going to be, it's actually a two-way tie between Krochik and Johnson, both down 10 spots, 33rd and 34th respectively, started in 23rd and 24th respectively. So not their day, but it could have been a lot worse.
Well, I think I'm gonna actually give my vote for driver of the day to Carbell, who started 26th and is edging on that top 10 right there.
Interesting. I'm gonna give mine to Dustin Fickert, believe it or not. Oh, we're gonna be watching as
I'm on board with
Dahey
this
and
one.
Doug. Okay, you can commentate it then.
Well, they were going wheel to wheel. It looks like Dahey going way too wide. As Doug also looks like may have gotten a fat warning right there as well.
I want to see if they touched, because that looked like it may have potentially been contact.
I don't think it was. They just went wide.
Dahey was coming a little too quick. Didn't know if he'd be able to get past Doug or not. So instead of risking both their races, he just kind of pulled out. So very smart decision though. I'm actually going to give my vote for the Rubber Chicken Award to Dustin Fickert. Started P10, up 6 places into P4. He's been doing great all race. We haven't seen him too much, but when we have, he has been making great, safe overtakes and then moving on and getting his head down and going for the person ahead.
What about you, Tomato?
Man, I really don't
was
have.
Our winner, actually. That was our
Mitchell,
last lap, and we're stupid enough that we didn't notice. But Doug takes the win from Dahey in P2.
I was on board
Aaron
with it.
Anderson in P3.
Yes,
but we didn't actually say anything about it.
Hey, I wanted to get Tomato's opinion on driver of the day.
I mean, I really don't have a specific driver of the day. Everyone had such a great, so many people who recovered through some fantastic stints, some great racing. So, you know, I don't really have.
Oh, did we lose him?
We might have lost him.
No,
he's here.
I'm back. Where did I cut off? Of course I did.
You don't really have a driver of the day.
Yeah, I just said like there's a lot of great racing, a lot of amazing stints that, you know, I just had a good time watching. I can't really choose someone in particular.
Well,
I guess it's down to us then.
I'll throw out the Fickert for this season then, for the season driver of the day. Well, I'm gonna at the people and see if we can get them.
I can do a couple of them as well to help you out.
Dahey. And at Fickert.
Pretty impressive race though for the first race of the season. It was pretty interesting. There wasn't too much bad things that happened. There was a little bit of accidents, but it wasn't as bad as some of the ones we saw last season.
So. A lot of really close racing and just like 4 or 5 people in a battle all at once, constantly throughout the whole race. It was great to see.
Well,
so I'm gonna give you just our top 5 or our top 10 for this opening race for the season. Douglas Mitchell taking the win from Dahey Yoon, and then Aaron Anderson bringing up the podium, followed by Dustin Fickert, David Funk, Jared Secombe, Simmons, I don't know your first name, apologies, Taylor Molyneux, Fire Queso, and then I believe Chris Aldivia in 10th.
I see our race winner, Douglas Mitchell. I'm gonna yoink him from the cooldown room.
Do it.
Hello, well hello, our race winner, Douglas Mitchell.
Here first, folks. The back-to-back is back. Oh my lord! First SRA race win ever.
He's not washed. Confirmed.
Now,
I was gonna
got a
ask you how
question
you're
for you.
feeling, but now we know.
I am hype as hell. All it took was a DC from the leader, and for everyone to choke their pit stop. Let's go.
So what happened was he didn't actually DC. He had the equivalent of a steering rack failure.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah. The halfway, it was about the 40-minute mark, and all of a sudden we just watched him go straight off the track. It's like, oh no, what happened?
Not ideal. Yeah, I saw he was just leagues ahead, and then all of a sudden he wasn't anymore, and then Aaron ended up adopting first place, and I was like, oh, this is my moment. I was pushing super hard. I almost punted Aaron a couple of times because we were taking different lines, but yeah, I am super stoked. And for all the haters that are saying I'm sandbagging, let the algorithm speak for itself. All right, just let me have my moment.
But Doug, you won the first race of the season. You know what that means, right? You're being moved to D2.
No. You see, I'm D3 silver. I'm gonna get promoted to D3 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Good point.
No, Doug, I know that you mentioned pit stops. What was the one thing you always told me when we commentated D6 together a couple seasons ago?
You have to execute your pit stop.
There it is.
There we go.
I had a perfect pit stop, and I was absolutely cheesing on the way out. And I got held up by a couple people on my out lap, and then subsequently was really just, I thought that the lead was gone. I thought Aaron was out of the pits, and he was going to be several seconds ahead. But I drove past him when he was parked there in the pit lane, and I was, oh boy, I was cheesing.
So Doug, I got a question for you. Why you flash Aaron?
Oh, it's a strategy play. I got to get in the man's head. It's like
I wasn't sure if it was strategy or what, but I'm like, this man is relentless. He's just all over the flashers. I'm glad.
I only did it like once or twice a lap, just in strategic places, just to let him know that I was thinking about him.
And
Pat Cockcroft in the chat for you, by the way.
Pat Cockcroft, much love to you. I don't know who's listening. I want big hearts in the chat for Doug Mitchell first dub at SRA. I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Dougie's in the team series chant.
But honestly, all seriousness aside, Daehee had an absolutely killer run. I had a moment early on with Funk. I don't know how that's going to manifest. I think we were side by side, but I'm not going to speak to it. But great racing across the grid, and honestly, a really clean race. I didn't see too many incidents, so super stoked.
There you go, Doug.
How did it feel with Daehee just like behind you throughout the last sector? Did you feel any pressure? What was going through your head?
Oh, my tires were gone. They were cooked. So I saw the Delta coming down, and I knew that he was going to be hawking me down. If there was one more lap in the race, he would have been 100%. But yeah, on the last lap, I hugged the inside. I was like, Daehee's got to take me on the outside, and if he's nursing 3 track cuts and he gets this 4th one, that's the only thing I have to defend for myself. But he ended up backing out. So that's where the chips fell. But yeah, to your point, he was definitely getting me the next lap if we had another one to go.
Yeah, that was very close. We were watching that the whole time. I thought you guys had made contact when you were coming through 8 there. I was like, oh no, did they just make contact? But it was just, I didn't know that Daehee thought he was going to be able to make it past you there. So
yeah, I mean, basically we were going back after the race, like immediately following in DM saying good race, and said, I told him, I was like, I thought for certain you were going to take me on that fast right-hander. And he said, I've never gone too wide through that corner, and I wasn't about to try it there. So it worked out. Okay. But honestly, great race, and I'm super stoked to start off a season on a good note, unlike many seasons past.
Oh yes, and congratulations on your first win in SRA as well.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Super stoked. I'm changing my Discord description now to say GT3 Team Series race winner. Okay, and I'm hyping the shit out of this like I just won a goddamn trophy. Okay?
Now every time we talk about you, we'll introduce you as the one-time race winner
And
or
back-to-back.
championship winner, right?
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, there was always the one thing that eluded me here at SRA. I had the back-to-back championships. I had the team championships. I needed a race win, and now I can put it in my back pocket. And people will tell me that it may have a little asterisk on it or whatever, but screw the haters. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Dahi
we
Jr.
were
will say it's a
talking about
race
it.
win.
Amen.
Luck is a skill.
Oh.
That's what they say, right? Luck is a skill. You
You're
put
not
yourself
wrong.
in the position to cap.
Yeah, I'm super stoked, and yeah, I just words can't describe it. I'm cheesing, and I'm sure many people have heard me gripe, but we put a lot of work into this league, and it's nothing worse than grinding to put together all this stuff week in and week out, and then have a poor race result. So having one that goes well is making it all feel worthwhile. Other than the fact that you guys enjoy it so much, so feels good on a
Good
personal
save.
note.
Good save.
Well, no, I mean, you guys all know that I do this for all y'all, but it's always nice to be able to walk in to the bedroom at the end of the race night and tell my wife that I did well, as opposed to saying that I came in last. I don't want my wife thinking she married a loser.
Many
Is that what
feels there.
determines if you sleep in the bed or if you sleep on the couch?
I mean, couch would be a blessing on race nights where I trash the car and come
You
in
get to
last
sleep
place.
outside with the dogs.
Yeah, exactly right. Out in the garage. It's too hot in the garage, boys. I want to sleep in bed.
Well, it's fantastic that you are enjoying this, and I want you to continue to enjoy this. But I know that we have two other eager people that we need to interview as well, Doug.
You bet. Yeah, go hype them up. They've earned it. And thanks for the support. And put my admin hat on real quick. Many thanks to all those that watched. Thanks to all those that participated. And looking forward to week 2.
Bye, Doug. Have a good night.
Bye, Doug.
Thanks, everyone. Likewise.
All right,
That was-
next would be Dahi Yoon.
Yes, I'm bringing Dahi up right now. Welcome to
Dahi,
the
our
booth.
Hello.
gold winner for today.
Gold. Oh, that's right. Still silver.
Since our silver winner won the entire race.
Yeah, obviously there's a glitch in the matrix.
It must be. Otherwise, I mean, Doug got his first ever win, so there's definitely a glitch in the matrix. However, amazing race from him and an amazing race from you. You almost had him there at the end as well. He was saying that if you guys had gone one more lap, you definitely would have gotten him for the overall.
Yeah, I think if I had one more lap, I would have been able to tuck in behind him closer on the straight. And I think he was running a lot more wing than I was, because I could catch up to him like crazy on the back straight. But no, he had a great race. I'm glad to see his witness his inaugural win. I know that was a meme for a while.
Now it's going to be a meme that he has gotten a win.
For sure.
I'm waiting to see
Yeah, I
the.
couldn't have asked for a better race for my return. I had a lot of fun. Just like battling with Doug and trying to catch up to Anderson. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to Jeremy's wheel. He would have definitely had the win in the bag if not for that.
Oh yeah, it was insane, the gap that he was building to you guys. It was crazy.
Yeah, too bad he didn't finish it out, because that would have been a good excuse to move him up to D2. But
You trying to get competition. Confirmed.
no power abuse here. Nothing to see here.
He controls all the bots, so he can tweak the formula just ever so slightly too.
Exactly.
Yeah, what you don't know is that half the community is actually Dahi Juniors.
Oh,
They're
damn.
AI powered, very smart.
You're farming.
Oh damn.
Dahi Jr. has been on the grind for real.
Right. Anyways, glad to be back. Glad to have my first podium in I don't know how long. I think I want to say like 6 months. Very
Hey,
happy,
you have
very
a great
excited.
excuse.
I remember I joined SRA just as you took your we'll call it sabbatical.
Yeah.
So that was back in October of last year. So right into it from being away and on the podium right away.
Yeah, like I said, it worked out all in my favor, huh?
Exactly.
All right,
All right,
thanks for having
chat.
me, guys.
Let's see some love for Day as well as he bids us adieu for the night. We'll move you back down to the race chat as well.
Thank you, guys.
Good night,
Thank
Dahi.
Good night.
All right. Brings in our last person, Dustin Fickert, who was our
Rubber
driver.
Chicken Award.
There you go, John. I'll let you lead this one.
I don't get to say Dupois this year, so let me have Rubber Chicken Award.
I will. Well, he's Dustin Fickert
Dustin
for you.
Fickert staying in D3 this season, getting the Rubber Chicken Award like you did, I think, a couple times last season, but leading off the next season with a Rubber Chicken Award.
How about that? Wasn't shooting for it. I didn't know what was going to happen this season. There's a lot of fast people in this division this season. It's incredible how stacked it is. I'm pretty surprised actually I ended up this high in the race, but very happy about it.
Yeah, you did great. Whenever we were on you in your battles, it was nice that Dustin Fickert we've come to expect, which is very courteous, very good driving, and then getting past and then just going on your merry old way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to ruin anybody's night. I know I put time in the game, and that's the name of this league, right?
Oh, for sure. So how was it? How was it? I can't talk. One of you guys take over. I'm out of words. I can't.
Going through the field, just working your way up, like how was that feeling? What was kind of going through your head? You know, what was your strat basically? What were you trying to do?
Go as fast as I could.
Fair
No,
enough.
No, I was lucky enough to capitalize on a really good start off the line. And there was kind of a cluster of cars right off the get-go, and I'm sure everybody saw that it kind of got pretty bunched up, 3 wide, 4 wide. There's 2 turns, and we all managed to stay out of trouble for the most part. I was really happy about that. But I kept my nose in enough to be dangerous to really ruin my race, but it eventually panned out, and then we started to get strung out. I had my teammate Queso in front of me. Eventually he did let me go through, and that kind of let me open doors to get Molyneux and just keep pulling away from him, because after I got past Molyneux, it turned into a fairly lonely race, but keeping the gap from Molyneux was difficult. There was times where I had some mishaps, and he would be clocking down that window from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, and just trying to keep that at least 3 seconds was a big move. And then just pitting late as possible. It was very much just head down. At one point I actually turned off the leaderboard thing on the left side because it was distracting too much, just so I could concentrate on just hitting every line and every turn. But it was fun, but it was just a lot of grueling hot lapping to make sure I could keep a gap where I needed it to.
Well, you did a great job at that. That's for sure. And guys, I did call it. There was a little bit of team orders there to let Queso get behind Fickert.
There wasn't necessarily team orders. I just had to happened to get a really good go on him. And I asked him, he was like, "Gotta go left, right? You want me to back off?" He was just like, "Take left. I'll back off a little bit and let you go through." And then, again, it worked out well. Unfortunately, he felt that it was gonna be better for him to pit a little early and try to get some clean air and away from some traffic, but it didn't pan out for him. But still, I mean, he still ended up really well. I mean, he ended up, I think 6th, 7th. So I mean, it really was good score for the team. Really happy about that.
You guys had a great day.
Yeah.
How were your tires towards the end? What were you feeling? Just trying to manage?
I wish I should have checked my setup before I left the lobby. It honestly did not feel bad. I did click on my TC1, and throughout the race, this will probably give away one of my secrets, but I was turning back my brake bias to be more centered, just because the Ferrari tends to get a little nose heavy under braking and turning. And that seemed to be a good way to kind of keep my tires in check. Again, I didn't check the wear, but for the most part, I felt fairly planted.
Thanks for the insight.
I think Tomato must drive a Ferrari.
Yeah. try to take the secrets of people much faster than me.
Tomato, D6 winner next week confirmed.
That's right.
I mean,
Calling it.
that boat has passed a
He's a
long
D4
time
boy.
ago.
Oh wow! Why did I think you were D6? I am so sorry.
I give D6 energy. It's part of being OBDA.
Oh no!
There it is. There it is.
All
Well,
right, Dustin. Well, you had a great race. Oh, I think Austin has something. My bad.
no, that you were heading exactly the same wavelength.
'Cause of mind
Sorry.
readers.
Yes, we are psychics. Well, Dusty, you had a great race. We're looking forward to seeing what you do next week. Maybe we'll see you up here for another reason instead of a Rubber Chicken Award. But congrats on, I think, probably your third Rubber Chicken Award in the last season and a half. So congratulations on that.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Hopefully there's more to come. We'll see. Like I said,
Oh,
this
yeah.
this division is absolutely stacked. So
It's
I'd
sweaty.
be surprised if I'm up here anytime soon again.
Every division is sweaty, let's be honest.
Oh,
It
This is
is.
true.
All right, Dustin, you have a great night.
All right, thanks, guys. Take it easy.
You too.
Well, that was our race winner of Douglas Mitchell, our gold winner Dahi, and our driver of the day Dustin Fickard. So huge shout out to those 3 drivers for putting in the time and effort to get up here on the broadcasting booth. I do want to say a special thank you again to all of our partners, as you've seen them throughout the stream on the banner there, for helping the league out. Do you guys have any parting words for tonight?
I apologize for my third ancient Greek fact.
Yeah, you gotta apologize to like half the league on that one.
I know, and I've also completely burned my bridge with Kelvin, and I'm very sad about that.
It'll take the rest of the season to build those
Build that
bones
relationship back
Yeah.
up. Yeah, it's gonna need that entire season.
Yep.
Yeah,
What about you,
I mean,
Tomato?
final words? Great race. I saw so many people close, a lot of battles, a lot of interesting tactics being played, and everyone was trying something new. And seeing, first time Doug win, that's awesome. And some great returns and new people across the grid. It was couldn't ask for anything better.
I agree. Well, my closing words was a fun race. I always thank the drivers for bringing the entertainment, while we in the booth add that little extra spice. Again, thank you to all the admin team that helped put this on, the stewards, that's commentators as well. We take time out of our days to do this, and then all the viewers for coming in and watching the race and all the entertainment that goes on. We couldn't have done it without this entire team around us. So for a wonderful night, thank you again for our round 1 of season 7 for D3 here at Paul Ricard, and we hope that you all have a great night.
Good night, SRA Nation.
Right.